Let's see. Good morning, folks. Morning. Let's see. It's a rainy day. I hear thunder in the background. I don't know. I've been waiting for this storm for 3 days now. Took its sweet time getting here. Let's see. My top posting for me. I'm surprised you weren't already there. Let's see. Roper. For plot reasons, I can't show Roper's point of view. I'm surprised you weren't already there. To be honest. Roper said, admitted. I mean, when I heard heard about the hunt for the new Prime Minister a few years ago, I thought I would soon after read about his Honorable Lord Prime Minister Arlen Richington a few years ago. Oh, Lord. I was a political puppy. I had no business. I thought it was absurd. Absurd when someone suggested me I offer myself as a candidate for Prime Minister. Soon read. I better check the outline. Seems like an odd way of wording a sentence. But, you know, I had an energy drink, so... I think they'd be able to make an energy drink that didn't taste like poison. There's what, 50 million of them? It'd be so hard for them to make one that tastes like Coca-Cola or root beer or something. Jesus Christ. They put 10 times as much sugar as any root beer anyway, so why the hell doesn't it taste better? Let's see. By the way, folks, Burger King has the best milkshakes, in case you're wondering. Best by a county mile. I can tell you that after an exhaustive personal study of the milkshakes of the land. Let's see, you wouldn't mind if he just showed up. No, that's not for a bit. But what about now? What about now? British, you leave the B off bloody. They don't... Bloody L. Bloody L. No, bloody L. Yeah, that's it. They don't leave the T off of what? What about now? Roper asked. Surely you got enough experience to become Prime Minister. You've never been in a scandal or been a scandal of any kind. Never been fired from a post. Never embezzled anything. Don't call me Shirley. I won't have no reason to embezzle money. For money. He came from money. Money, and his wife had her own company that was estimated to be worth $1 billion. Is that it? $1 billion. Billion. Holy shit. There wasn't a person in Crimea with the money to buy Ireland. However, gangsters and other gangsters had tried at times to intimidate Ireland into serving them, which didn't work out for them. after what Dami did to the Clay brothers. All those gangsters stopped bothering Island. Yeah, them Clay brothers. Wait a minute, is that the actual name? I swear I did it by accident. There were some famous gangster brothers in London about 30 years ago. They were twins. Might have been more than 30 years ago. Why do I keep thinking that the 60s was 30 years ago? Maybe because I'm stuck in a 90s frame of mind? I don't know. 60s are getting way, way in the past now. That energy drink tasted good then. It was a Red Bull, by the way. Had a nice tang to it at the last moment. We didn't end on a sour note, me and that Red Bull. So you're gonna stop bothering Ireland. Not as far as you know. As far as you know, Alan Joe. So will you? No comment. Alan replied, suddenly feeling a bit like he was talking, feeling a bit like he was talking to some reporter. Suddenly Ireland felt exhausted, imagining all the questions about this incident he was going to answer. It was all over. Was he going to have to write another book just so he could say, referred all those reporters to it? If you have any questions, just read my latest book. It had been quite an experience. No, what the frick? I don't understand why the hell that even happens. Why I need these dumb alternative things for these keys. Just don't do that, you know? Frickin' stupid. Give me a basic keyboard. It's been quite an exhausting, though spiritually rewarding experience. Writing that first memoir. And it had been a bestseller. Arlen didn't think it was worth publishing until a team of editors had gone through it page by page. I didn't want any grammatical errors. He supposed he didn't have to worry. He didn't have novelist worries. Since it was all based on real experiences. There were no plot holes, character inconsistencies, or technical, no plot holes or character inconsistencies. Since you're supposed to have a novelist worry, since it was all based on real experiences, there were no plot holes and inconsistencies. I'll have to maybe I'll write a book about this, and then run for Prime Minister. And then leave myself open to becoming Prime Minister. One said, if my party will allow it. There are other candidates. Alright, Roper agreed. Then asked, I have a bit of one unfinished. A bit of a second memoir. Or written out, but far from finished, Arlen admitted. I was going to call it Arlen in Peacetime, because it was going to be about my life after the wars. But I guess I'll have to change the title. Change the title. I'm going to tell this part of my story in it. Call it Ireland in Terrorist Times or something. Roper smiled. I suppose I wrote some decent dialogue earlier in the other part. Ugh. Scalp was all scaly. I wonder how many people get sick at the thought of themselves, like I do. Ugh. This disease. Anyway, I suppose... Yes, rank keeps my mind off the... life. Let's see. I suppose it's called Ireland Peacetime. I suppose it will sell well, as long as you provide some juicy stuff about that green goddess of yours. I would have thought. I wonder who he could mean. Speaking of her, Dominique. Roper continued. I keep making an error where, I have one guy talk, then I switch to the other guy. Usually that's how it goes in a conversation, but sometimes I have the character continue an earlier thought after like a brief interlude like there, and that messes me up. Like I would accidentally write Arlen continued instead of Roper continued, because, back and forth, back and forth. Let's see. Why doesn't she come and rescue you? She could probably rescue all of us. All of us from peril. But she should rescue her damn husband, at least. You wouldn't mind if she just showed up, rescued me, and left the rest of you to rot? Roper, Arlen asked. Well, that would be pretty rough, Roper replied. Arlen immediately pictured himself on a great sinking cruise ship. There were thousands of people around him, praying to God for rescue for salvation. From the cold, black waters, the ship was gradually sinking into. Then Dominique shows up and rescues Arlen and Arlen alone, leaving the rest of the people to their fate. It was not something Dommy would do. She would rescue as many people as possible. She might not save everybody, but she would save many. She might not save everybody, she would save many. Like that time she rescued all them people from that sea monster. I'm kind of against putting references to stuff like that. At least not references for stuff that I haven't written yet. When I've actually written a scene where Dami rescues a cruise ship from a sea monster, then I'll, then I'll put a reference in. Let's see, the Clay brothers. Yep, they're both dead now. Not the nicest people in the world. She might not save everybody, but she would save many. I'm sure her PR would take a hit, the public, but they'd forgive her. Roper nodded. She had a lot of people who loved her back before she did anything enough. Note, whole cult springing up in the night. She, let's see, rogue night. 60 minutes in already, wow, and I haven't said anything of note. This is feeling like Lord of the Rings, just people standing around talking instead of doing shit. Not that that's all Lord of the Rings, there were some very good action scenes. Including one with a giant spider, but, I guess I'm not that into giant spiders. Let's see. I wrote a story where a giant spider was one of the heroes. I'm still working on it. This book is kind of like the sequel to that, even though I haven't finished it. Strange how that works out. Whole cult sprang up in the night. There were many people who credit her with ending the world wars. Ending both of the recent world wars. They give her credit for the Great War, if they could. But like me, she wasn't born till after it. Ireland replied. French remind me of Mimicry, that movie from the 90s about the killer giant cockroaches. Any movie with the balls to murder children is, any horror movie with the balls to kill kids is, good in my book. She disguises herself as a jade terrorist. Yeah, that's the next part. Finally get into some action. It would be annoying if she just saved your ass, Roper admitted. But her apparent inaction is even more annoying to me. Roper waved at Dominic Green, who was kin with Dami, and thus kin with Arlen by the right of marriage. Dominic came over, looking like the typical Zetan soldier of the modern day. Olive drab attire, helmet on his head, rifle slung over his shoulder. An updated version, an updated version of the same young men Roper often served alongside. They weren't the best soldiers in the world, but with time, they could beat even the Bloodkins, the masters of modern warfare, and the Jade. Naturally. Let's see, like all crap, huh? Updated version of Man, so they weren't the best soldier in the world, but at the time they could beat even the Bloodkins, the masters of modern warfare, and the Jade after them, who came after them. We're wondering when. Yes, sirs, Dominique asked, looking and sounding a little lost in his own head. It was clear that there was something on his mind. What Ireland could only guess said. No shortage of things to trouble a man, person in their current predicament. Sorry, folks, I need a drink. Not the drink that most writers take before they write, but just a glass of water. I wonder how those great writers wrote all those books while they were totally sauced all the time. It doesn't seem like, what the hell am I rambling about? Never mind. So you had to stare at that spelling error. Predicament. Really, how many people could get predicament spelled right on their first go? These English words, I tell you, they're mother lovers. We're wondering when Dominique is going to show up and save some lives here. Roper said merrily. Then asked, do you think she'll save you? If she just saves Kin here? I doubt it. Dominique shrugged. She probably has no idea who I am. She probably thinks I'm probably doesn't know. She has Zetan relatives. Did you ever meet her? I better check and see in the notes. Of course he met Dominique. Of course he didn't, I mean. Probably didn't even know she was in love. I'll make sure she knows after today. I'm reassured. I'm pretty sure. Whenever she stumbled, she got pretty excited in the war when she met some relatives unexpectedly. There are plenty people in Selgoria with vert blood in their veins. The family got around. Yeah. Dominique thought. The name sounds almost almost spells like mimic. Domimic? Domimic? No, that doesn't sound as good as Dominique. Always worried about Dominic being too overpowered. That's why I had to give her some fellow superhumans of her level caliber to kind of counteract her enormous strength. I didn't want it to start out like, you know, I hope it doesn't come across like she's the only one in the intro, because from the start I always had her paired with other superhumans of matching might. Otherwise it'd be pretty boring if it was just her versus the Germans. The Germans are pretty tough though, so, you know, maybe it would be a thing. The Germans bring her to her knees, which they have done several times in the narrative so far. Oh boy, let's see. I got a lot of notes to fix. Now around here. Let's see. Best man will liberate myself. Yeah, he already said that. Tough guy. Let's see. Worried about needing antidote. I never... Dominique said. So I doubt she'd consider my rescue. I've never met Dominique. So if she comes to rescue anybody, it will be just her husband. It will just be her husband. Or all of us. Ireland replied. She can save us all. She will probably save us all if she comes. Nami did end up coming. Several hours later. At 5. At 6:30 p.m. About an hour before. About 6:30 p.m. local time. Okay, folks, signing off here. This is the start of a new chapter right now behind it, so have a nice day. Good day. Good luck on your projects.